relax. It's just sports. We got a great episode too. NFL, college football, baseball, Cincy dude in the news. But first, we found love in the Muni lot.
Yes. You didn't find love in the Muni lot.
I found it, just not for myself.
Okay.
I was in Cleveland over the weekend for the Bengals-Browns game. We'll get into that game in a second, but I saw something I'd never seen before. A full-blown wedding. Hey, first of all, Mazel Tov, congratulations, all the things. First Lady and Brown Spider.
A pairing made in heaven.
Made in heaven. Many people immediately after the wedding, they dance. They go to a hotel room. They do whatever. They went to a 17-16 Browns loss. And obviously, Brown Spider and First Lady are diehard Browns fans. I looked at the registry online.
Did you really?
Yeah. I didn't want to tell you until we got onto the podcast. Everything is Browns related. Everything. So we're talking you know how now on registries you have a honeymoon fund? You could donate $100, $50, whatever you want to someone's honeymoon. Their travel fund is to NFL games to follow the Cleveland Browns. And super fans, you're the absolute best. Absolute best.
They're the best of us. I could never do that.
They're amazing from an arm's length.
Yeah.
Their existence, it's like reality TV kind of, which is what sports are. But I think reality TV, and you're more the reality TV expert than I am, but it's like you're not in the world of the stars, but you're following the world of the stars.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it.
It's giving, if you remember MTV True Life.
Yeah.
True Life, I'm addicted to, I don't know, eating toilet paper.
Oh, True Life. I was thinking of Real World. Yeah.
No. True Life, I'm addicted to blank. This is True Life, I'm a Browns fanatic. True Life, I had to get married at the Browns Stadium.
First Lady and Brown Spider married in the Muni lot, which is the definition of ratchet. Not them, the Muni lot. I'm not judging First Lady and Brown Spider, but Muni lot is ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a wedding there. And not even that could get the Browns to beat the Bengals. And I think that's what says everything you need to know about this Browns team that year. But we're going to talk about the Bengals perspective.
Yeah. And I want to hear your perspective because, like you said, you were there. You saw love. You also saw a Bengals win.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you see? Tell me about it.
I saw a really ugly, gross, disgusting football game. But I think Joe Burrow said it the best in his press conference. He said, as someone said earlier in the press conference, someone, that you did not win these games last year. You did not win the close, ugly games. You didn't win the 1-point games last year. This year, you won it off the bat, and Joe wasn't happy he was happy with the win. Joe was not happy with how the team performed, and I think that's a perfect assessment. But there is some kind of intricacies in that I think we could dive into a little bit. The Bengals offense started out really good. On their first 3 drives, they score on 2 of them. Awesome. The Bengals defense started out, I thought, pretty bad. They tackled much better. Shout out rookie Demetrius Knight. I think I called him out on the last pod. I did on the pod, I think.
You definitely spoke about him.
10 tackles. He was all over the field.
Great. And
I think Cleveland's offense is abysmal.
Yes.
Abysmal. How did Joe Flacco throw for 290 yards?
Yeah.
The dude's 40. Zach Taylor's 42. Kevin Stefanski, the Browns head coach, is 43.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flacco should be on their staff, not under center. But Bengals win. So from the offensive perspective, I'm not worried about the Bengals offense. They only had 7 yards in the second half, which
I believe I have a stat on here, lowest amount of yards in a win since 1995.
In a win.
Yeah.
Be happy they won the game.
Yes.
I'm with you on that. Uggo offense. However, if you look at years past, and we'll talk about the Jaguars game coming up in just a little bit, the Bengals offense isn't necessarily very good out the gate. Jamar Chase, I don't have the stat in front of me. I should have looked it up. When was the last time Jamar Chase did a good week 1?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Problem I think that a lot of people have, though, and I'd like to hear your opinion on it, is for someone like Chase, previous years we had a sit-out / sit-in situation. Yeah. We've had his rookie year where he was bad during the preseason. For Joe, it's been this is the first year that he's started without having a major issue in the preseason, but we still saw the same slow start. What do you
We
attribute
didn't.
that?
No, we didn't see the same slow start.
I mean, we did in the second half.
They won the football game.
No, but I'm saying slow literally. Like their offensive numbers are low.
So from the jump, the offense was humming.
Yes.
So
the first drive felt beautiful.
The first and third drive were both very good.
Sure.
The third drive ending in the Noah Fant touchdown.
Mm.
So from that perspective, yes, they were good off the start. I understand and agree with you about the second half. Credit where it's due, the Browns defense and their defensive scheme and their defensive coordinator give the Bengals fits. They just do. For whatever the reason is, the Bengals do not perform well in Cleveland. They do not play well against the Browns when it's a game that means something. If you look at the games the Bengals have beat the Browns and stuff, it's either the Browns are decimated or the game doesn't mean anything to one of the two teams. So I think the Browns defense are just low-key a kryptonite for the Bengals offense, and I just think it's one of those things. I think the Browns defensive coordinator's name is escaping me, but I just think he outsmarts Zach Taylor. I think it's like X's and O's versus Jimmy's and Joe's, and the Jimmy's and Joe's of the Bengals skill players, as opposed to the Jimmy's and Joe's on the Browns defense. The Browns defense, Myles Garrett is just a game wrecker.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett's unbelievable. Like he is, I'm going to say the best defensive player I've ever witnessed in person. I've seen him now play in person 10 times. Every game, he's just a monster. He takes 3 guys down with him. And when he says, I'm going to go sack Joe Burrow, he goes and sacks Joe Burrow. There's a reason he got paid.
Mm-hmm.
So, from the defensive perspective, this is, I think, the best outcome that could have happened for the Bengals defense.
And you were hard on the Bengals defense going into this game.
I don't think they played well.
Yeah. I remember you specifically commenting that you talked to Cam Taylor-Britt. He was like, we're going to hunt the ball. And you were like, okay, but also like, are you going to tackle and do all the things needed?
Mm-hmm.
They hunted the ball this game, confirmed.
Yes.
But how did you feel about them? Did you feel better about them than before?
No, but I do feel better about them in a different perspective.
Okay.
So they tackled much better than I thought they would. And because both interceptions were not like clean picks by the defense. They were both balls that were drops by the Browns
They were all
wide
tipped.
receivers. It was the one that Jordan Battle caught, I believe, was off a Jerry Jeudy drop ball. And the one that DJ Turner caught at the end of the game was a tipped ball off of Cedric Tillman. So I'm positive about this game because in the post-game locker room, you would have thought these guys just like slayed Goliath. And that's a good thing because even on a game where I don't think they performed well, because I think we're going to see this same Browns team go up against the Baltimore Ravens and give up 40 points. And I think that'll put some perspective on this. But I think they're going to get a little bit of a swagger from this game. And this is a game they could really build off of. They made mistakes that didn't lose them the game. The Bengals won this game because a kicker who was a rookie in his NFL debut, Andre Schmidt.
Something along those
Schmidt,
lines.
it's spelled like SC.
Yeah.
Like it does not look like Schmidt.
Yeah.
Andre Schmidt. He choked.
Yeah.
And like, say it's a team sport, whatever. He left 4 points on the board. They lost by 1. That's the reason the Bengals won the game. And the Bengals didn't do anything to cause that. Like the special teams wasn't particularly amazing. With all of that said, the Bengals offense, I think, will naturally get better because that's what they do. I mean, we're talking about the always open year was week 4 in Tennessee 2 years ago with Jamar Chase when he then exploded. Last year, Burrow and Chase were horrible week 1 against the Patriots. They both respectively led the league in a million categories. I think this upcoming week against the Jaguars, which I know we'll get into, reminds me a lot of the Commanders game, the prep for that, which they did lose the game last year. But Burrow threw for 324 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I think that's the game we're about to see.
Okay. Well, and I'm going to say this. I believe that Sean McVay is the best offensive mind in the game. Sean McVay, allegedly coaching tree, Zach Taylor. When I watch this offense, I am absolutely annoyed by every single thing that goes on up until week 5.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know like what Zach Taylor is doing and switching things up because he is the play caller. Like,
he is, yeah.
I'll love to pitcher, right? But
no, Zach Taylor's the guy in charge of the offense.
Yeah, and I'm just watching it like, when is Zach Taylor going to pull out the stops? And he never really does.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I see you on that. I think Zach gets a lot of flack about play calling.
He does.
Like so much flack. I'm curious. Like this game, I asked them because it was very clear. It was like, get the ball to Chase Brown. Get the ball to Chase Brown.
It was, wow, Chase Brown, run 3 times. Maybe I'll pass it to, Noah Fant or Jamar. That was
And
it.
for whatever reason, that was their game plan week 1. And when I asked them about it and I asked Zach about it, he goes, Chase is a premier playmaker in this league. We're going to get the ball in his hands. Great. But I think a lot of it was the Browns defense. Yes, history is right and it's on your side, but I think this is a little bit of an asterisk of a year where the offense is fully healthy. There isn't those distractions. So I'm curious to see, do they get to that week 5 that you called in week 2?
And that's my hope, yeah. Because I think I speak for, and mind you, I'm not like a diehard, lifelong Bengals fan.
Sure.
But I think I speak for all Bengals fans when I'm like, I'm kind of tired of watching Zach Taylor's offenses struggle in the first couple of weeks. And I'm willing to be like, Joe Burrow was hurt. Jamar was sitting in. T was hurt because T's been hurt plenty of times too. I've been able to deal with that. But this year I was like, everybody's healthy. Everybody's fresh. Yes, we have some offensive line issues.
Dalton Reisner. Do you follow his wife on TikTok?
Yeah, I do.
She rocks.
No, she's fun.
She rocks.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. Like, okay, I see we have some offensive line issues. When do they not? I still think that they should have done better offensively this week.
Sure.
But it feels like I'm just wondering, what does Zach Taylor, is he just like, I'm going to hold this in the bag until we're playing the Ravens on Thanksgiving? Like, what exactly is his plan? I don't know. I would love to see them come in week 2, fresh, good to go.
I think they just need to get the ball in Jamar Chase's hands. From Joe to Jamar.
I would love that.
And I think it'll happen.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it wasn't like Jamar was going. Cleveland's secondary did a great job, but it wasn't like it was Jamar versus Denzel Ward every play. It was getting switched on. It was Newsome, it was Ward. But I feel really good for whatever reason that this next week, when the Bengals play the Jaguars, we're going to see that explosiveness because everything you said is right. The Bengals won in week 1.
Huge.
They won in week 1. They don't do that.
Yeah.
They like literally the last time was 2021. The last time they won in regulation was 2018. Bengals won in regulation. That's a win. Like I know that's so silly, but like be happy about it because they didn't get a single one of those last year. You could argue the Dallas Cowboys game on Monday Night Football, but they didn't get a single lucky game last year. They were a single lucky game from the playoffs 2 years in a row. They just got it. So now if they only have 9 wins this year and miss the playoffs, too bad. Now if they have 10 wins, you look back to that 17-16 win week 1 against a bad Cleveland team. Imagine they lost that game. They should have lost that game. Mm-hmm. But they're a good team. I'm sorry, I'm not saying they're a good team, but good teams figure out how to win this game. I will tell you if they're a good team by week 4.
Okay.
That's I say 4 weeks always is my meter.
That's the Marshall Kramsky promise.
Not that they're good, but I will give you a hard opinion about the Bengals after watching them for 4 weeks. Other teams that I don't follow on like a literal daily basis, I'll fire from the hip and tell you. But from the Bengals watching them for 4 weeks, I will tell you if they're a good team. I will say good teams win that game. What the Bengals did, that's how the Kansas City Chiefs won last year. The Chiefs, although their offense was much better than the Bengals were in week 1, on their bad games, they won those all the way to a Super Bowl.
They won like every 1-score game. I think they like lost one 1-score game.
And the Bengals lost every 1-score game.
Yeah.
So when you said my prediction, when we asked for my predictions last week, I said it was either the Bengals are going to win big or they're going to lose close. That's because that's all I know is following the Bengals.
Yeah.
They
this
win
was
big or
the
lose
close game, and they ended up winning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when Joe Burrow said afterwards, we lost a lot of those last year. Someone earlier in the press conference said it. Who's to say who said it? I said it. And that it was true. Well, they flipped the script. So good for the Bengals. Bengals fans should be nothing but happy.
Mm-hmm.
That locker room afterwards was fun.
I watched some of the clips where they were just like screaming, like, doesn't matter, it's a win. Let's get it. First win, all that matters. Yeah. And I was like, that's the right attitude to bring in.
100%. Logan Wilson on his way back to the locker room goes, we found a way. I love seeing the rookies like fired up afterwards.
Were excited,
First win, Demetrius Knight. I really enjoyed Jordan Battle's conversation, speaking with him. Such a well-spoken guy. Like he talks a lot. He chirps a lot on the field. he was like when Bryce Young was at Alabama, he was Nick Saban's defensive captain. Like he was his guy in the defense, Jordan Battle. And I really liked the way he conducted himself. It wasn't over the top. But then DJ Turner really stuck out to me because DJ, I asked him the question, you lost these games last year. This year, you won it. He goes, we're not talking about last year. Like the classic, we're not talking about what happened last year. It's a new defense. I understand DJ was hurt. I understand there's a new defensive coordinator now, Golden. But that's a big step forward. So I liked those. I thought what was interesting about it was there was a real sense of partying afterwards. The music in that Cleveland locker room is always so loud. Well, which is actually, I've only experienced it twice because it's the only 2 times they've won there because the press conference room was right in it, but it was bumping. And then once we got in there after Zach and Joe spoke, it was already, we're turning the clocks. It was whatever. And that's where I noticed that swagger I was talking about earlier about the Bengals defense, that the fact that they got it done, that's going to kind of be their mantra. Their actual mantra is the Santa Clara mindset or whatever, Santa Clara standard. There was a real swagger to like, see, we can do this. We can do this. So that's all you could hope for with the defense. 90% of defense is mental because all the guys are athletes and they can tackle people.
Yeah. I actually want to talk about, you mentioned it. You said Bengals fans should be happy with it. You also mentioned, though, that you think that the Browns will absolutely get destroyed by the Ravens.
Yeah, they're going to get dog walks.
I think the best game of this week was Ravens-Bills. No debate.
There's no thing. Vikings-Bears gave it a run for its money.
On Monday, yes. Vikings-Bears was fun, but Ravens-Bills was definitely electric, definitely the most fun that I've had watching the NFL since last season. Probably last season when the Ravens and Bills played. But we've kind of talked about this a little bit. People have been asking, would you rather win the way that the Bengals won or lost the way the Ravens lost? If you're a fan of either team, which one are you wanting more? You want that win, or do you want, okay, we lost, but we lost to the MVP? And
you know how in like grade school they say there's no stupid questions?
Yeah.
It's a really stupid question. And I know you didn't come up with it.
No, I didn't.
Really, really stupid question because you need to win. You win 10 games, you're in the playoffs. You won 10% of the games, you need to win. So there's no, this is the NFL. This is professional sports. There's no feeling good with the loss. No player is going to say they felt good with the loss unless they're already out of playoff contention and like we're building for next year.
Yeah, moral victory.
No moral victories in the NFL. Absolutely not. Take a 17-16 lucky win, then a 41-40 hard-fought win when a geriatric kicker makes a 50-yard field goal to beat you. No, that deflates you going into next week. The Ravens are lucky they have the Browns next week because they're just so much of a better team. If the Ravens had to go up against a team like the Eagles or like another one of like the top teams around the NFL, the Chiefs, I don't think the Ravens win. I think the fact that they're getting the Browns is like a scheduling thank you because now they can reset because that kind of loss deflates you. And I know the Ravens have a good mindset. I think John Harbaugh is an amazing coach. They'll be fine no matter who they played, but no. I absolutely win lucky. It's better to be lucky than good.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It's more fun to be lucky than good, too.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Foles, there's a statue of him in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Nick Foles was more lucky than good. No, I don't understand that question. That's just Cincinnati Twitter X just going like, oh, yeah, let's like talk about like how we could be better. Yeah, can you be better? Sure, but you won the football game.
And you haven't been able to say that for years. So
years. The Falcons outplayed the Patriots in the first half of the 28-3 game, and they still lost.
The Falcons outplayed the Bucs this week, and they still lost.
The Jets outplayed the Steelers.
Yeah.
So no, I'm out of here on those. No.
Okay, do you want to do some overreactions? Because everybody knows week one, we're all watching these games and then going, yeah, he sucks. Yeah, this team's terrible. This team's the best.
Yeah.
I want to hear some of your biggest overreactions from week one.
Okay. J.J. McCarthy's the next Tom Brady.
Okay, we're just
going from the top rope. No, I thought J.J. McCarthy looked really good. I think J.J. McCarthy can lead this Vikings team to a lot of wins, and I didn't think that before the season. The swagger J.J. McCarthy showed on Monday Night Football on the road in his hometown, down 2 scores. that took some big boy pants, and I was very, very impressed by J.J. McCarthy. I'm sure Ohio State fans are going to love to hear that.
I know. I was just thinking, like, I grew up a college football kid more than an NFL kid, so I still watch college football more than anything else. I watched J.J. McCarthy's, like, entire time at Michigan.
He was never doing that.
He was never doing any of that. Passing, that wasn't in J.J. McCarthy's lane.
No, he was so good at handing the ball to Blake Corum. So good at it.
He did such a good job of handing the ball off and running when necessary. And now he's passing.
He was dropping dimes to running backs.
I know. I think it's the KOC effect. That's my thing.
Oh, 100%. Look, he brought Sam Darnold back to life. He made Kirk Cousins swaggy.
Who was the guy who was like an astrophysicist, like made
Dobbs.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs. And then he was the one who went to the Arizona Cardinals, and he wanted to buy his own jersey, but they didn't sell it, so he had to build his own jersey, even though he was about to be the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, and the reason that people were obsessed with Josh Dobbs, when he played the Vikings under like 2 days of preparation, won a game. Like, KOC does magic.
Jake Browning, the Bengals backup, was a practice squad quarterback there. He comes and starts for the Bengals. He goes on a roll, 1-3-3. So, yeah, Vikings, I went from thinking they were going to be nothing to thinking they're going to be really good. That's probably an overreaction. Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be fighting for the AFC North. For sure an overreaction. Aaron Rodgers.
Is Aaron Rodgers back?
He's not like MVP Super Bowl winning Aaron Rodgers, but he's at a good enough place that he can win the Steelers a playoff game.
He's in his old Drew Brees era. I'm going to pass to everybody.
Difference is he has a way better arm than old Drew Brees.
Sure, but it's like, I'm going to pass to everybody. I'm going to spread the wealth. I'm going to hand it off as much as I can too. Like, yeah, I like it a lot. It's a fun offense. And I don't say that a lot about Arthur Smith.
Packers could probably win the NFC.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. You're at my overreactions. Micah Parsons isn't even settled in yet in Green Bay, and he's a dog. I think he's just going to get better and better and better, and the NFC North is going to be the best division in football because I think the Lions will bounce back.
The Vikings are already good, and the Bears are still on the rise.
I think the Bears are going to be solid.
Yeah.
I think they just need to learn how to close games, and I think that'll come.
Mm-hmm. What about Miami?
Roma Dunze was very good. Miami. Quick shout out. Defense coordinator for the Colts, though, Lou Anarumo, who left the Bengals, was in his bag against the Dolphins. We will see in a few weeks' time how in his bag he really was, or was it just...
Or are the Dolphins that terrible?
Where's Tyreek Hill getting traded to?
Tyreek Hill? I don't know if he's getting traded. Did you see the recent...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. You know who he would get traded to? The Chiefs.
I don't know how he would, if he really would fit in Kansas City, though.
I don't know if they have the room for him. I'm not sure.
I don't know if he's out.
Yeah. Oh, what about?
He might want to live there. It's cold.
What about Chiefs? They lost to the Chargers. It was a Brazil game. I know you hate your international games.
I do.
What did you think? Did you think, wow, they look significantly worse? Or did you think, this is just like a one-off?
I think it's the first game of the year in Brazil. I think the Chiefs are going to be fine. They're going to be the 2 seed in the AFC, and they're going to be in the AFC Championship game, and then from there, who knows? Okay. Like that, I think that's just, it's the inevitable. And I will believe that until it otherwise happens 2 years in a row.
And then my last check-in with you, I think.
I also think the Chargers are good.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
I really had a good time.
I think the AFC West is really good.
Have you seen the memes of Quentin Johnston and CeeDee Lamb having a body switch Freaky Friday moment?
No, but that's really funny.
Yeah. I believe the take was Quentin Johnston went to Brazil and asked somebody to take CeeDee Lamb's body and give it to him.
I could see Jerry Jones investing in that, saying, wait, I could switch wide receivers but pay this one a lot less, but it's just him and that. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah. So he might have hired some sort of witch, an Etsy witch, if you will, to help him convert that. My last question, though, for you.
Sponsored by AT&T.
Do you think Joe Burrow is still MVP at the end of this season?
Yeah. That nothing has changed on that end. I think Joe Burrow is going to be in the limelight when the Bengals are on their late season run. If the Bengals make the playoffs, which I think they will, Joe Burrow is the MVP. I stand on business with that. Josh Allen was spectacular. Lamar Jackson spectacular, besides when he almost literally sent a fan into the hospital.
I was pro it.
I was too. Screw that kid.
Don't hit a professional athlete.
No. Lamar should have absolutely... I had no issue with what Lamar Jackson did. He apologized after the game. It almost seems like, he was like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But Buffalo fans can take it. They're tough.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, this is up their alley. Like, how many times have Buffalo fans done something crazy? Thrown things on the field?
Yeah, I have no issue with that. Here's the big tease. We're going to talk about the Bengals and Jaguars and other topics towards the end of the show, but we got some juicy stuff. Let's talk about other stuff first. What do you want to start with? What do you want to go do next?
Not too much happened in the college football season this week, I think. There were some fun...
It's always week 2, week 3. I mean, there was the Iowa State-Iowa game. Like, that's fun for, like, that state.
Those 2 schools, yeah.
Yeah.
UC did host Bowling Green.
Michigan versus
that wasn't
Oklahoma
fun.
wasn't fun.
That was not fun.
I love seeing Jordan Marshall, though, on TV. Jordan Marshall was a running back at Moeller. He won the MVP of the bowl game last year. He's now RB1 for Michigan. That dude's going to be making headlines in the NFL one day.
I loved seeing Jordan Marshall. I also was like, oh my gosh, hey, I know him.
He's like the nicest kid, so I'm really happy for his success.
But then I hated watching their quarterback.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really having a good time with Michigan.
I was watching that in the hotel room in Cleveland, and I was like, this isn't great.
Yeah, he's fighting with his teammates, which I don't mind arguing with your teammates on the sideline. You're all fired up. You have feelings.
Sure.
But I wasn't having a good time watching them.
No.
UC hosted Bowling Green, featuring Pudge.
Yeah.
Low-key the only important part of that game, sorry to say.
What do you mean? The Cincinnati Bearcats won their 24th straight home opener at Nippert Stadium.
And I would hope they would. But more importantly, Pudge was there with his security guard, a literal human man, walking around the sidelines at Nippert Stadium with a shirt that says Pudge's Security, with a backpack on that's, of course, vented for the cat to breathe, with Pudge sitting inside.
Is it bad that I would care so much more if it was just like any other animal besides a cat?
It's a very weird and specific...
I've seen the picture. It's like the smush face.
Yeah, but we've all seen it. It's like Grumpy Cat-esque vibes.
Yeah.
But Pudge got more screen time than half the players did, so.
Sure. I hear you on that. I don't know.
You're anti-Pudge. You're anti-Pudge agenda.
I'm anti-cat.
And that is a hot take, but I'll let you have it.
I don't think it's that hot. I think it's actually like a lukewarm take, and like people get mad about it, but.
People do get angry about it. We also saw Grambling State get absolutely destroyed by Ohio State. However, I had a great time watching them not play the game of football, but I did like watching them on TikTok days before. They were all posting videos saying like, let's get paid. Let's get this money.
Can I just say HBCUs do it better?
Oh, I mean,
they're so much more fun.
So much more fun.
Grambling State, their coach coming into the week was talking about how we know what's going to happen. I think that was a direct quote. We know what's going to happen. We know why we're doing this. We're making money. Let's not get hurt and play clean football. And that's, I don't know how clean it was.
I mean, 70-0, they had 0 points. That's pretty clean.
I feel bad for Grambling State. I was speaking with a player. I'll leave him unnamed. I won't even say what position he was, but I will say he went from a MAC school to a Power 4 school. And he was saying one of the hardest things for him at that MAC school was they would continuously play blue blood Power 4 programs, and their school would make millions of dollars off of it. And he would get frustrated because he understands the money and how that could be good for him, but that they weren't seeing that money. Like other teams are getting new locker rooms, that the volleyball team or the baseball team or the teams that aren't revenue sports are benefiting from him getting literally mentally and physically beat up for 60 minutes by players his team has no business being on the field with. And I thought that was a really interesting perspective. I don't like these games. I'd rather the Power 4 schools just play other Power 4 schools. Maybe do a 1-week preseason exhibition and then just start playing real college football. I don't need Cincinnati plays Northwestern State this weekend. I don't need that game. I'm going to be there. Love going to Nippert Stadium. I want to see the Bearcats clean things up, especially in the second half. They could have stepped on Bowling Green's throat, and they didn't last week. I would like to see them do that this week. I did like seeing Brendan Sorsby throw the ball. Like, there's things I want to see, but I'd rather see them against a real football team. Like, no disrespect to Northwestern State. I'm sure other schools in the Louisiana low-level Division I area, you could play fun football. Like, it's not fun when it's so lopsided. So,
I will say the one thing that was fun was watching Grambling State's band.
Awesome. Battle of the Bands.
No, they literally, after the game, stayed on the field and the two bands like went back and forth for like an extended amount of time.
Love that.
Because that is, I mean, Ohio State, I think, calls themselves the best band in the land. They are
what
actually.
Do you mean you think? You know.
I mean, but I more so, I think that that's what they say.
Yeah,
I don't think that. I don't think they're the best band in the land, because then I'm watching Grambling State and I'm going, wow, this is so much fun.
100%.
So while Grambling State may have lost on the field in their cleats, they won on the field with their tubas.
Moral victories. Here
That's
we
not
go.
a moral victory. That's a real victory. It's
know.
not for the football team.
We'll never see a difference because there's too much money involved, especially now with NIL. Like, these schools need money to fund their players. I don't like it. I just think play other good teams. Like, you only get so many weeks of football a year. Make them worth it. Maybe 1 week of it. The fact that we have 3 before conference play starts.
It's too much.
It's too much. Like, I know Cincinnati, so they just played Bowling Green. Next week they play against Northwestern State. Then they have a bye, and then they go to Kansas. If Cincinnati didn't have the Nebraska game week 1,
Which most teams don't.
most teams don't, it'd be brutal.
Yeah, it's a tough time to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do this today, but I will do this at one point, so I'm preparing you.
Yeah.
I will go on a rant about Kentucky head football coach Mark Stoops at one point this season. Mark Stoops, you're on my list. You've been on my list for years, and
You're not the only one.
I will be writing something about you that's hateful soon.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you take care of that. You do you. We'll see. Is he on the hot seat? I don't know.
I wish he was. I'm begging for.
I think his buyout's like $29 million.
Yeah, he's one of like top 10 like highest paid coaches
Yeah.
in college football, and we are never good.
They allegedly have a good recruiting class next year. We'll see.
Alleged. And then we watched Matt Ponatowski or whatever not even go to the University of Kentucky, because isn't
Matt
he
Ponatowski, who's the Moeller quarterback and shortstop, who is committed to play at Kentucky for both football and baseball. There's a lot of talk that he's going to be a first-round baseball draft pick, which
So
means
why would he
he'd be
go?
slotted for $3 million and say, see you later. But who knows what his NIL money is?
Listen, Matt, I'll put down some cash for you if necessary, please.
I was at Matt's game Friday night, and I was the honorary
Coin toss.
tossee. And I think everyone else who was the guy who was supposed to toss the coin at the Moeller Louisville Trinity game, I think was just like late, and they're like, "Hey, Marshall, Channel 9, come on over here." So I flip it. Moeller wins the toss, and Matt goes, "Nice flip." I'm like, "Yeah, man, thanks." I felt really cool that a 17-year-old kid who's making way more money than me said, "Nice flip," and he's in high school.
He said,
anyway,
no big deal.
Matt has aura. I think I used that right.
You did.
Cool.
Yeah. I think that's kind of it for college football, personally.
Bill Belichick first win. There you go.
Oh, huge.
We ripped on him last week. First win this week. Congrats.
Yeah, hats off, of course.
What are your thoughts on Deion Sanders doing all of his post-game interviews with his player? Like the quarterback was talking. It was like the third string quarterback, and he was like, and like they were like quoting like Martin Luther King. I was like, this is a lot. Like, awesome, but I don't know. Like, Deion, let your guy have his moment.
I think you could have stopped with like, what are your opinions on Deion Sanders? And then we could have just like had that conversation. Yeah, I feel like Deion Sanders as a coach is just like an experiment that I am witnessing in real time. Go, oh, okay, yeah.
It's
okay.
working.
I'm not talking about the results on the field. I'm talking about the experience of watching him interact with both journalists, his own team, the camera crew that's following them around, recording everything, his own sons who are also part of that team.
I think he's good for college football, though.
I think he's good for like the attention.
Yeah, that's
but
all it is.
I'm watching him every single time I watch him. I go, what are we doing? And then I just keep going.
I really wanted to tweet before the Browns-Bengals games, but I didn't. I wanted to, but I was afraid too many people would think I'm not being serious. That's the fine line. I'm not like one of the Barstool guys who can just tweet whatever they want, and everyone's like, oh, he's funny.
Yeah.
And I like Barstool. I think they're funny. But like, since I am like actually a journalist, I have to be careful sometimes. But I really wanted to tweet. Former Cincinnati Reds outfielder Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders, is listed as the emergency backup quarterback for this game.
That's good.
I thought it would have been funny, but then, someone from the woodworks would have
taken it seriously.
Yeah. But anyway, that's how you localize a story.
Yeah. Speaking of our former Reds, outfielder.
I thought you were just going to say the former Reds, like they're done.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that at all.
What do you think of Marty Brennaman's statue that just got...
So I saw our channel was able to like go and meet with Marty while they were making it. So I saw like the making of it, and during the making of it, I was quite scarred. It looked like peanut butter just like piled on top of stuff.
Okay, so making of the sculpture.
So when I saw the actual sculpture, I was like, gorgeous.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of professional sports stadiums. I'd say probably over 50 between the sports, maybe more. The Reds statues, some of the best.
Yeah, they're no Ronaldos.
Or Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really impressed. I don't know why the Bengals don't have any. I mean, I do, but... So the Reds had that huge series against the Mets, and they won it. They really needed to sweep it. Really needed to sweep it. But the fact that they won 2 out of 1, and the problem is, it kind of goes like what we were talking about the Bengals. You go back to that Friday game, Friday night, Reds down 1, bottom of the 9th. Edwin Diaz loads the bases. And Mets fans know that's the Edwin Diaz experience. He loads the bases on 13 pitches. It's just kind of what he does. 3-time All-Star. Strikeout, ground out to first. What?
Yeah.
Switch the order up. Come on. Bat on ball. Edwin Diaz is an All-Star. He's elite. You just have to put the ball in play. The infield is in. Take a chance. You can't strike out your first 2 times. And one of those guys is Ellie De La Cruz, the best player on your team. Ellie strikes out a lot. You can't strike out there. And there's a chance they miss the playoffs by a game. And there's going to be plenty, there's going to wind up being 78, 79, 80 games they lost. You can't just point to that one, but you kind of point to that one.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that game, things will change. Things always change. But right now, they're behind by whoever, who cares. But they got leapfrogged by the Giants. If they had won that game, them and the Giants would be tied.
So right now, I think it's a 3-team race. I think the Mets are the likely team to win it.
Yeah.
They're in, and we're recording on Tuesday. This drops on Wednesday, so the games tonight might shudder a little bit, especially because the Giants are playing the Diamondbacks, and they're both right there with the Reds. The Giants, I think, a game above. The Diamondbacks a half game behind at the time of this recording. And the Giants got the Dodgers 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
They have the D-backs this time and the D-backs another time. They have the Cardinals and they have the Rockies. The Reds, they lost in extra innings Monday night to the Padres. They got 2 more against the Padres. They're at Oakland, Sacramento, Vegas, whatever. They're at that minor league ballpark, which I think the A's are a bad baseball team, but playing in the minor league stadium could throw people off. Then they're in St. Louis, never easy for the Reds. Cubs come to Cincinnati, not good. Pirates on 9/23 is their last series. They're playing against a team that I quote unquote should sweep. But what if they get Paul Skeens?
Yeah, you never know.
And then they're at Milwaukee, where the Phillies, they're in Philadelphia right now, which is not easy for them. And then they play the Rangers in Citi Field. They play the Padres at Citi Field. They play the whatever. I'm just listing the games now. Cubs,
yeah.
But I think the Mets have the easiest schedule.
The Mets do have the easiest schedule. The Reds have, I think, I was going to say the hardest, but maybe the Giants playing the Dodgers and Diamondbacks.
You need Andrew Abbott to come back to life.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's like declining speaking to reporters after games now, which is like not the Andrew Abbott I've experienced. He's not been good since the All-Star break. Hunter Green's been electric. We need 2 more guys to step it up like Hunter Green. I mean, losing an extra innings on a sacrifice fly to the Padres on a Monday night, like that's not playoff team baseball.
No.
What do the Reds need to do to make the playoffs? They need to win every single series the rest of the way and sweep 2 of them. They do that, they'll find their way in.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to come back and win these last 2 against the Padres, sweep the A's, win 2 or 3 against the Cardinals, 2 or 3 against the Cubs, sweep the Pirates, 2 or 3 against the Brewers. They're in the playoffs. And even then, it's a maybe. But that's what I think. That's what the Reds can control. You can't lose another series this year. If the Reds lose 1 more series this year, I'm out on them.
Okay.
And that's when I'll throw in the towel.
I will say, I do think, and I've always said this, and I'm sure you know this, I always feel like somebody who shines, goes to the All-Star game, flops. after the All-Star game. I have experienced that with the Cubs personally many a times, like Kyle Tucker.
Oh, you're saying both Ellie and Andrew Abbott?
Yeah. And I've experienced that PCA for the Cubs is like on and off hurt, but he was also like doing poorly before that offensively. And so I watched the Reds and I go, Andrew Abbott struggling, Ellie struggling. It just seems like a common thing for me.
It just feels like a deflated clubhouse to me, the Reds. It doesn't feel like that fun beginning of the year, you know, or even around the All-Star break when they were grooving. There was electricity in that clubhouse. Right now, it's not good. I mean, maybe this road trip's what they need to get it right, and this is your last chance to get it right, and maybe that's why you paid Terry Francona for this road trip. Maybe it all comes down to this moment in time. Otherwise, though, that's that. My favorite baseball story from the last week, though. Philly's father and son, don't know their names.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Well, yeah.
But all the names are irrelevant in this.
They're in Toronto, right? Or was it not Toronto? Miami?
Yeah, Marlins.
They're in Miami. The Blue always. Anyway. Home run hit.
Harrison Bader.
Harrison Bader, former Red for like a hot sec. Ball goes on the floor. People go for it. Dad picks it up, gives it to his son. Everyone's excited. Woman in her middle age.
I believe they're calling her Philly's Karen.
I'm not going to call her that. As a female, I would love for you to call her whatever you want. The woman that Taylor called Philly's Karen went and started yelling at the dad, give me that ball back, while the ball's already in his son's hands. And he's like, just take it.
Yeah, just take it, lady.
The Phillies packaged it up, all the swag for the little kid. And my favorite part of it was John Boy. I just saw posted today that it wasn't John Boy that said it, but John Boy reposted someone else. So one of these like card collecting companies is offering her $5,000 for the baseball so that they could give it to the kid.
Oh my gosh. So
here's my thing with these people who
with Philly's Karen.
Yeah. The woman you call Philly's Karen. Do you know how much money that baseball is worth?
I really don't.
$4?
I was like, not that much.
Maybe $15? It wasn't Shohei Ohtani's record-setting home run. It wasn't Cal Raleigh breaking Mickey Mantle's record for the most home runs by a switch hitter. It was Harrison Bader's. I don't know how many home runs Harrison
But it was like Harrison Bader's 4th inning home run against the Marlins.
Like, why? Like, it's a kid. It's like why I don't like foul ball guys. Zach Campbell. I respect greatness. Zach Campbell's the greatest to ever do it, but I don't respect him as a person. Like, dude, like, let the kids get foul balls. There's a reason you loved it, because when you were a kid. I don't know. And make this made for a great story, because there's very few times where everyone in the world and everyone on the internet all comes down and unites to hate one person.
Yes.
And this is one of those beautiful moments.
No, I agree. People definitely were on Philly's Karen. But then after that, I will just point out they absolutely set that kid up. He got to meet Harrison Bader, who signed a bat.
Harrison Bader wins Good Guy of the Year award.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, they did the most they could possibly do to help that kid, to the point where now I'm sure the woman is like, wow, I just made myself a villain for no reason.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is
also,
like
he didn't rip it out of the woman's hands. It was like on the floor.
It was on the floor
and he gave it to a child.
I guess she thought like finders keepers, like I don't pick it up, but I see
finders
it.
Keepers. There's a baseball in a baseball park.
She said, I see it and it's mine. Don't touch it.
People are worried about the younger generation. People are worried about Gen Alpha, Gen Z, like you, millennial, like me.
I think the Karens of the world are still strong. I will say, I don't think that the entire experience needed to be that highlighted. You know, like that kind of stuff happens all the time. I've seen a million people throw. It's true. But I'm like, I've seen a million people like fighting over a ball and somebody's like, that was my ball.
It's because they got caught on camera.
But it's because they stayed on that woman the entire shot.
Shout out to the RSN crew that was shooting that. Like, you guys crushed that. And like the random cell phone videos we saw. Speaking of it being week 1 of the football season, I heard a debate. Someone said to me, and I had hot takes on it, like, you need to open up your mind people were mad that the U.S. Open is week 1 of the NFL season.
Okay.
Like Alcaraz Sinner was going on.
Wasn't that going on at like 3 p.m.?
On NFL Sunday.
Oh, that's true. In my brain, I was like, it was like an afternoon, wasn't it?
What are your thoughts on that?
My thought on that is I do watch tennis. I check out when it's the same people in the championship. So like anytime.
Interesting.
Yeah, I am a tennis like exciting tennis gal, and I've seen a lot of Sinner and Alcaraz. So I said, I
find Sinner and Alcaraz very exciting tennis.
They're so much fun, but I'm like, I want it to be like the women's match where it was like the girl from the U.S. who I cannot remember the name of.
And Sabalenka.
Yeah, where I'm like, ooh, what could happen? I literally do not know. With this one, I'm like, well, one of the 2 greatest players I've ever seen is going to get it. So I was like,
I like watching greatness in a major, but my take on it, if you think tennis cares at all about NFL Sunday, globally, tennis dominates. Like, I was overseas. I was in South Africa not long ago. I've talked to Joe Burrow. I talked to Ellie De La Cruz. I talked to the biggest stars in Cincinnati sports and other ones. All they wanted to know is what players I interviewed at the Cincinnati Masters, they called it. Mm-hmm. All they cared about. Wait, you were in the same room as Djokovic? They were rattling off, like when they were talking about Americans, they were like, how far is that from Tiafoe's hometown?
And you said very far.
Yeah, but my point is, and that's not just South Africa, that's Europe, that's Asia, Australia. It is so much bigger internationally. I don't think tennis cares about the NFL.
Well, and likewise, I don't think the NFL cares about tennis.
Exactly. Like, so when people are like, they should move it, that's just dumb. I'm like, I think you're dumb.
This is like people getting mad that
I would like it to be different days so I could enjoy both.
Yeah.
Like play it on Tuesday, and that way I could like enjoy the U.S. Open. And obviously, like I'm working with football, but like tennis has the world. The NFL, which is growing, i.e. Brazil, i.e. London, i.e. Munich, i.e. Madrid, and I love the NFL. Chill.
It's just like, 2 different. Relax. It's 2 different people. I mean, in my eyes, it's like I watch soccer all the time.
Sure.
I have made a decision as a U.S. citizen who grew up watching football that I'm going to watch a football game over my beloved Manchester United absolutely flopping. Like, I know what I'm going to do, and that's how the U.S. is. We're going to watch...
Or just get a second TV.
But I'm like, we're probably going to watch the NFL games, and the people in other countries are going to watch the U.S. Open, and then we move on. Like, nobody really cares that much.
So 2 people said something to me, and I was like, get out of here. Speaking of the NFL.
Yeah. Let's look at Cincy Dudes in the News.
Love that site. Love the name of that segment. Cincy Dudes in the News. Who we got?
A very special Cincy dude in the news.
Oh.
Sam Hubbard.
The Cincinnati Kid, per Mike Tirico.
I know. The Cincinnati Kid, Sam Hubbard, is back in the news because Sam Hubbard will be the ruler of the jungle for the home opener.
That's fun. Ruler of the jungle is like the honorary player. They bang a drum or something.
Not here.
What do they do here?
I think they do that in the other.
I think they take like a staff.
Yeah, and they go...
Yeah, no, I see them. I'm in the press box during the games, but like, yes, they're like, and the ruler of the jungle is. So congrats to Sam. Shocker if it wasn't him. This is his first year retired. I did see Sam a couple months ago, and we asked him, how do you feel? Do you miss training camp? Do you want to be back? He's like, no, I'm good. He's like, these guys got it. I put my time in. I feel great.
Yeah.
He slimmed down. I mean, not that he was ever too big, but he like took off some of the football weight.
As all linemen do.
As all defensive linemen do. He's married. Sam Hubbard's killing it. Does the folding event every year. Happy for Sam. And it'll be cool that he's playing. My favorite Sam Hubbard stat, his last career play is his receiving touchdown against the Titans, because that's when he had his season-ending injury. I'm laughing because that's just so beautiful.
I genuinely feel in my bones that they were like, let's come up with a play for Sam because he's going to retire at the end of this year. And
they were trying to get Sam the ball.
Yeah.
That's the one in quarterback season 2. They catch Joe Burrow mic'd up.
Yeah.
And the Titans defensive player says, are you going to throw it? And Burrow goes, F no. I'm sorry, are you going to run it?
Are
And
you
Burrow
gonna
says F
run?
no, and then he throws it to Sam Hubbard for a touchdown. That's great. This will be for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're coming in. They're playing the Bengals. My last note on last week about that game before I talk about the Jaguars game. That game is so good for the Bengals' confidence. So good. Like, it was making me think of a comparison of, like, if you go out one night and you're wearing what you think is like a really good new outfit, and you pick up a couple girls' numbers or guys' numbers, and you come back and you're like, I just crushed it at the bar, crushed it at this wedding, whatever. And then you see the pictures and you're like, oh, I looked gross.
Yeah.
I was sweating beer out of my eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have been out last night. But you still came home with a good night.
You're so happy.
That's a win.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Bengals last week. So then the next time you go out and you do have your A game, you feel that much better. And that's kind of what I think the Bengals are like. They went out and they performed, and now they have a Jaguars team that is much better, I think, than the Browns. Although the Jaguars, I'm like, kind of tough to analyze right now because they had the weather delay, new head coach, Travis Hunter, their first round pick, second overall, is getting healthy. I think the Jaguars present a lot of issues for the Bengals, and I think their offense is leap years ahead of where it was last year with Liam Cohen taking over. They just got rid of Tank Bigsby, right?
Yeah, traded him to the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm sure Howie did it again. Howie Roseman did it again. I think ETN looked reborn. ETN was teammates with T. Higgins, I think, at Clemson. As was Trevor Lawrence. I think the Jaguars present a lot of issues for the Bengals because they have playmakers, and I'm worried about the Bengals defense. This could be a big game where the Bengals defense can build off of that Browns performance and be like, we are here. I really want to see that. As far as the Bengals offense goes, I said it earlier in the show, I think this is the earlier than usual Jamar Chase coming out party. I think Jamar was so calm, cool, and collected. And I've made the joke, I forget if I've said it on this podcast or not, but every year with Jamar Chase is the same to me. Doesn't get the ball, doesn't get the ball, doesn't get the ball. You better give me the ball. I better get my go routes.
And then
I just think we're going to get it a week earlier this year. I think we're going to have a T. Higgins game. I think it's going to be a big Chase Brown game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And the fact that, like, combined teams total will be in the 50s, but between the Jaguars and the Bengals. I think this is going to be a fun game because I thought the Bengals-Browns game was a boring game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for them to be back in Cincinnati and vibing, and I think the Bengals do go 2-0, and I think this game is going to be the fun that we didn't see in Cleveland.
I hope so.
I also, maybe that's part of me hoping so because I want to watch fun football.
Yeah. So what's your score prediction?
Bengals win 31-25.
Okay.
That would be 56 points, right?
Yeah.
That's what 31-25 Bengals win. And I don't know what there's going to be a spurt in this game where there's like 3 or 4 touchdowns back and forth. And then someone's going to figure something out. Other games around the league we have our eyes on, is there anyone that really stands out to you? I mean, that Ravens-Browns game I think is going to be very eye-opening.
To how bad the Browns might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think the Steelers, I want to see what they do.
Mm-hmm. You got Chiefs playing the Eagles, correct?
Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. Bills, Jets. I will think the Bills are going to score 100 points. But Aaron Glenn was good. The Jets surprised me.
Aaron Glenn, I really love him. He's a real, like, players guy type vibe that everybody talks about. A very Dan Campbell-esque coach, actually.
I think we got a fun week of football ahead of us. I think there's a lot of baseball to get us through to that. Like, the Reds could still be alive or completely done by the time the Bengals play.
It's an important week for the Reds.
Yeah.
And it'll be an interesting week for the Bengals. And we better believe that UC will go 2-1.
All right. I didn't do this last week. Make sure you follow, et cetera, please. That's what the note says here.
That's what my note says.
Yes.
Yeah. Subscribe.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Follow, subscribe. Are we telling people to follow you on social media?
I don't care. But
I
they
don't know
should
your
follow
hand.
you.
There's like a baby Whita or
Yeah,
Taylor. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, I don't know.
Just follow you.
Yeah, at Marshall Kramsky. And relax, it's just sports. Thanks for hanging out.